Hello, my friends. I'm Bee, and this is Bee's Intuition. And today we're going to do a reading all about untapped potential. So that will be a question, but there's going to be people that are already tapping into their highest potential and stuff. So we'll see what comes out, and I'm sure there'll be specific messages for those who are already on their journey. Maybe there's areas of yourself that maybe you're not aware that are as powerful as they are. So maybe there's like certain areas in which you can intensify or increase that power or something. But yeah, anyways, untapped potential. Like what lies within the collective that is important to bring out? Let's just say. Okay. Please and thank you, Spirit. What was the question? What is the collective's untapped potential? Please and thank you, Spirit. What is the collective's untapped potential? Please and thank you, Spirit. Ooh. Okay. Play it cool. Play it cool. Okay. First off, we have the Ace of Swords. Something about your ideas, I think. The High Priestess, which I feel like comes out all the time for you guys. I feel like this is like just a given. Your intuition, your connection to the divine is very nice. With that Three of Cups, the power of friendship. Eight of Wands, so like clearly communication, especially with that Ace of Swords, that could also be indicating communication. Nine of Pentacles, something about the way in which you specifically, your independence, your unique qualities, something's there for sure. Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, something about new opportunities, new starts, in growth and evolution. Okay. Maybe you take advantage of like new opportunities and stuff, and that like is like a good quality, maybe, or maybe sort of kind of. Okay, so let's start clarifying, shall we? Starting with the Ace of Swords, please and thank you, Spirit. Untapped potential of the collective, please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify that Ace of Swords, please and thank you. Ooh, what do we got? Okay, look at you. Clarifying that Ace of Swords, we have the Nine of Swords, Six of Wands, the Moon. Bottom of the deck, High Priestess, because obviously, double confirmation for High Priestess, by the way. This is interesting. Ooh, okay, so sometimes I like think about what I'm gonna say before I say it, and then like I almost forget that I didn't say it out loud. So let me tell you what I'm thinking before I like not say it. Nine of Swords. I'm getting that, especially if this Ace of Swords has to do with like your ideas, I really feel like your mind is a curse and a gift. And maybe that's how you see it at points. I think you definitely have the issue or problem about like maybe ruminating on certain things for a long time or overthinking things. There is a sense of anxiety. It almost feels like being inside your mind so long that you're starting to kind of twist yourself into all sorts of shapes, and it's like if you just had another person to to kind of bounce things off of, it may not get so tangled, but it's almost like the more you overthink, the more it feeds into this like tangled up knot inside of your brain. Like it feels almost like this could even lead to some sort of like self-sabotage, especially if like maybe it has to do with fears. Fears can be a part of that Nine of Swords. So Actually, Nine of Swords can, Nine of Swords, fear can be a part of the Nine of Swords and the Moon card. So maybe this is something about fear here. The fear of sharing your ideas with the world. It's interesting that the Six of Wands is in the middle, so maybe you're even fearful of being seen for your ideas. And then the other side of the Ace of Swords could be something that has to do with communication. You may overthink your communications before you communicate. You may have a fear of communicating, or maybe you used to. And with the Six of Wands, maybe you have a fear of being seen for communicating certain thoughts, opinions, or whatever information that you think is useful to share with the world. It almost even feels like maybe there's a little bit of a fear of being seen here. Maybe you're more introverted. I think that you have the kind of personality that would be charismatic with that Six of Wands. I think that people like you, but maybe you find people overwhelming. Yeah, actually that's coming across pretty strongly. Like, as much as you maybe sometimes don't really care for alone time because it leads to overthinking, I think that you also find most clarity when you're alone. The Moon card and the High Priestess do have some similarities about, like, the unknown, what is not seen. I'm also getting something about nighttime. So maybe your brain is more active at night, which would make sense with that Nine of Swords. But, you know, at night, sometimes our thoughts can really get the better of us, and sometimes our fears do sneak in the night. Maybe it is sort of like a love-hate relationship you have with your mind and your thoughts. Because it's almost like, as much as they could feed into really beautiful things, like say you have a spark of inspiration or something really motivates you, and maybe you have like a hyperfixation even, and you're like pouring a lot of energy into that thing. Yeah, you may find that you're more active at night. I don't know why, but that just feels like it's really strong here. Something about your brain being more active at night, or your mind. Yeah. Maybe you're even more talkative at night, because, you know, there is a whole other part of the swords that has to do with communication. Oh, yes. I think that's something about you being seen. You don't like to be seen. Or at least maybe not fully. You like to have something, it almost feels like you like to leave something to the imagination. You prefer a little bit of secrecy. And I'm not necessarily saying that that's a bad thing at all. Because honestly, I kind of understand that feeling, you know? Not everybody wants to like put their whole life out there all the time, or have people know all of their nitty-gritty information, secrets, whatever. You know, like, that's really intense to think about, you know? I really am picking up on, like, I think that's so interesting. I think that your blockage here is your fear of being seen. So it's like, maybe you know how powerful your mind is, your ideas are, your ability to communicate, you understand how strong of a power this is, but it feels like the success comes in when you are not afraid of being seen for your ideas, for the communication that you share with others or the world. Well, I mean, if that is a very strong problem, maybe you just have that sort of personality that, for one reason or another, although you are very likable, it's showing up here that you are very likable, and you would be quite successful if you were in the public eye, but you don't necessarily have to be in the public eye, because you can always use your mind use those beautiful ideas and your communication skills, you could always help somebody else who is in the spotlight. You could be somebody in the background that's like maybe writing scripts for people or writing speeches or, you know, giving people ideas for videos. Like literally, like I'm getting like this whole other plot line. So like if you're not a big fan of being seen, you're not a big fan of like having being in the spotlight, being seen for your ideas or communications, you can always help somebody else and do that sort of work behind the scenes where you're not the one being in the spotlight, but somebody else shares your opinions or something, or your communications, your ideas with the world. Because I think that your mind is a very beautiful thing, and it could be used for your benefit, especially when it comes to dispersing your ideas with the public or to the public. If that makes any sense, and your communication to the public. So it's like, even if you're not that person that's being seen in the public eye, you could help that person and be very successful with doing that sort of work behind the scenes. Like, even if like maybe your ideas and your communication come through the form of like performance arts or something, but you're so afraid of being seen in the spotlight. Like maybe that's the part that you just don't want or just don't like. Maybe you could help write scripts and teach people how to go into the performance arts, or give people ideas about the performance arts, or you know, whatever. You can do background stuff that is just as valuable and just as helpful. And you know, some people have better personalities for the spotlight than others, so maybe you find that you could make a really good team with somebody that's willing to be in the spotlight while you do this like behind the scenes kind of work. Like, yeah, maybe in order to make this something that works for your personality type, as well as gives you success, grants you success, it may just require you to be a little bit more creative. Maybe look outside the box. Maybe try to overcome certain fears that you have. Because like, especially with the moon card, this path that you're on with your mind is like, your mind is part of your life path. So however you choose to use your ideas or your ability to communicate with others, it will lead you to where you're supposed to be and to your success. It just may require you to overcome those fears or think outside the box and think more creatively about how you're going to disperse those ideas or that communication that you are very skilled at. So that could just be like a little bit of like a hopeful message from spirit. Like, there are other ways to go about certain things. Like, if there's a certain path that you want to pursue, but you're afraid of certain parts of that path, try to adjust it to better fit your personality. Find ways that you can work behind the scenes if you're afraid of the spotlight, you know? Like, there's so many alternatives out there, and it just really takes that creativity, thinking outside the box. Oh yes, and since your mind is such a powerful thing, you definitely have the creativity it takes to be able to see things from a different perspective, an outside point of view, thinking outside the box, thinking more creatively. You have that ability to do that. Let's take that as a confirmation, annoying background noise. But you have that creativity and that ability to do that. Maybe you just need to be reminded that you have that ability within you. Yes, because it almost feels like when you harness this ability that you have of the mind, like this infinity loop is kind of telling me that you're going to have infinite success when you embrace that, and when you find ways to embrace that and share that with the world. Also, I'm picking up on the vibes of manifesting generator, which is like, I forget what it's called. It's one of those, you know, quizzes that you like fill out and it tells you what you are. Like there's like manifestors, manifesting generators. There's generators, I think. It's like the human map or something, or the body map or something. I can't remember. I'll have to like, when I'm editing, I'll have to include it because like, I can't remember what the heck it's called, but I'm picking up on the concept of manifesting generator from that area because I believe that I hate to say that it was a diagnosis because it's like that makes it sound so official when it's just, you know, maybe not that serious. But I was labeled, let's just say, as a manifesting generator, and I believe I can't remember exactly, but I think it's like somebody that is really good at coming up with ideas. And so maybe you're more so an idea person and you're just meant to give people your ideas. Like that could be your thing, is like helping people get ideas. Maybe somebody wants to be a YouTuber, but they don't have any video ideas. You could be the person that gives that person video ideas. And obviously, hopefully in this dynamic, you would get paid for that, you know. But yeah, you may be able to find ways in which like you specifically, your personality, your, like the way in which your brain works, you can find ways to make that work for you and bring in a lot of success for you. Also, you know, the moon and the high priestess, intuition is coming up, so that could also be part of this beautiful quality you have, is your intuition. Maybe a lot of your ideas come through your intuition. Maybe you like to communicate through your intuition, like, well, that sounds kind of confusing. What I mean by that is like maybe you communicate, and the reason why you're such a strong communicator is because you use your intuition in that conversation. And like feel the vibes while you're speaking or something. So I feel like, yeah, just like as long as you're tapped into your intuition, it feels like it's going to be very positive. Yeah, and it's okay to keep a little bit to the, like, yeah, keep a little bit to the imagination. Like, that's okay. Maybe you need a reminder about that. Yeah, you're just like such a beautiful and unique individual, and you have such an ability for success, and it really does stand out. Something about you does stand out in a very I don't even know how to describe the energy that you give off. I think that you definitely do. I'm sort of getting maybe like an edgier energy. Like there's like a little bit of like a, I don't want to say darkness because that's automatically assumed to be a negative thing, which, you know, we can totally dive into the whole black magic, white magic, or light magic, and all of the racial significance of that labeling. But yeah, I like, it may not be like literally your aesthetic is dark, but maybe like dark feminine. That's kind of the energy I'm picking up on. And it doesn't even have to be dark feminine. Maybe you're identify more as a masculine. But yeah, maybe you identify more as a masculine. So maybe it's like dark masculine energy that you exude. I'm not exactly sure what dark masculine energy looks like, but I hope it's positive, because like usually dark feminine energy is seen as a relatively positive thing, I think. I just think it's like something like mysterious, alluring, demure, very demure. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. It's like reserved, but it's like enticing. There's something about it that gives an air of mystery to you. And also like a little bit of an air of otherworldliness, especially with that high priestess. So like there is a spiritual element to this mystique. Maybe that's what I'm feeling, mystique. It's like almost like mystical and like interesting, captivating. Like you just have a very special energy to you. Yeah, okay. So let's go on to the high priestess now. Clarifying the other high priestess. Anyways, please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clear? Yeah, let's clarify that. High priestess, please and thank you, Spirit. What is the collective's untapped potential regarding this high priestess card? Please and thank you. Oh my goodness gracious. That is a lot of energy. Well, I guess it's to be expected when it comes to the high priestess. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to show you before I forget. Ten of Swords came out in this direction. Four of Cups. Seven of Cups. King of Swords. King of Wands. The World card. Three of Cups. Ace of Cups. Five of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. This is very, very interesting here. I'm not exactly sure, because I'm getting like a whole storyline here, and I'm not really sure how this is going to connect to the topic of the reading, but I'm going to just say what I'm feeling because it's coming across quite clearly. Okay. Your burdens of the past have actually been helping you evolve into this high priestess. You, through working on yourself, maybe diving more so into your spirituality, improving on your spiritual journey, trying to evolve and grow on that spiritual journey, you have built up the ability to set boundaries with people and have very specific standards, especially in love. As a result of this, having standards, making like healthy boundaries with people, you're going to be coming into a time of options. And this could be quite overwhelming for you. There are two players that are coming into view for you, specifically. I think that the Seven of Cups definitely could indicate that you have more than just two, but these are the ones that are coming through at the moment. We have the King of Swords and the King of Wands. And they both came out upright, so these are actually pretty good options for you. They're both kings, and they both have their areas of like expertise or strong qualities about them. With the King of Swords, somebody here is very good with communication, and maybe they're very honest and straightforward. With the King of Wands, this is somebody that's very charismatic, passionate, probably very attracted to you, very drawn to you. You may excite this person in some way. Doesn't have to be spicy, but it could be. This is so interesting. Well, I'm gonna make it fit obviously the topic, but I'm gonna just try to just give you the downloads as they come through, even if they don't make sense at the moment. The World card, I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's kind of the universe or spirit kind of telling you that you have truly my little babies, look at her little pods, so cute. Okay. I think that this is really just spirit, well, not just, anyways, doesn't matter. Sometimes I get hung up on specific words that I use. I'm like, whoa. Anyways, the World card, I feel like spirit is really saying you have literally closed out that past door. You are not the same person that you used to be. And I feel like, I think it's starting to come together now, how this fits. Anyways, with that World card, I feel like Spirit is literally here to say, get ready for things to change because you have changed. You've like changed in really significant ways, and this has not gone unnoticed by the universe or Spirit or, you know, good karma, good luck system, whatever beliefs you have in that department. Like, you're gonna have some really good things come towards you, and I think probably pretty quickly. I almost feel like this is like almost like a heads up, like not a warning, because it's nothing bad. I think this is actually going to be a lot of good coming towards you pretty quickly. And this is because of those difficult decisions that you have made in order to improve yourself, improve your life. Like, I'm actually getting like really strong emotions of like pride and happiness, so I just want to communicate that to whoever's like listening to this message and resonating with it, because this is beautiful. Like, I literally see you being so fed up with that 10 of Wands. You have reached your breaking point and you're like, screw this, why am I doing this to myself? Like, why am I, you know, taking on the baggage of other people that, you know, don't do anything good for me? Like, why am I getting into relationships where I'm doing all the work and they're just getting off scot-free, like doing nothing? And, you know, like, why am I allowing these people into my life in the first place? And what makes me think that this is what I'm worthy of? And this is what indicates my value as a person? Like, no. And it, like, I literally see you taking a stand for yourself, standing up for yourself, putting down all those wands, because you're like, clearly what I've been doing is not working. And you're like setting standards for yourself. And these feel like very difficult standards to maintain, but you have. And you've had to make those decisions. I almost am feeling like there have been a lot of lonely nights. I don't know why, but that's coming through. And then I feel like because of this valuing yourself, making those difficult decisions, choosing yourself over other people, there comes with this, I think, a sudden increase of people coming into your life as options here. I think that you're suspicious probably of a good number of these options, because I think you can tell that not all of these options are people that you want, and not all of these people are people that are good for you. So I think you're very smart with it. I think your past experience has definitely sort of, you know, put you into that frame of mind of thinking like that. And so I think that you're going to be very selective, but it could be overwhelming at first, especially when you see that there is quite a number of people that are taking interest in you. And you may be like, okay, but like, who do I trust? How do I figure out who's here for me, who's not, who's being superficial, who's deeper, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I think that maybe it does come down to two specific people that are actually not full of BS and not trying to do something sketchy here. And these might be the only two people that you actually take serious out of all the options, because I really do feel like there could be a lot of options coming towards you, but it's like, I'm gonna, like, it almost feels like, you know, like you're the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, where you're like, you have all these options and you're going through them one by one, and it's like, okay, let's toss this person out, let's toss this person out, and then you narrow it down to two people, and you're like, okay, these two people I know at least I'm compatible with, or there's potential, or, you know, they have their life together for the most part. Like, yeah, it feels like you may be going into like your Bachelorette, Bachelor, like the show. You may be going into that phase of your life where you get to be the one to decide and like kind of have options and stuff, which is kind of funny, especially because I think that you're coming out of a time of potentially some loneliness. Because when you make these decisions, you start choosing yourself, you start choosing your future, maybe your connection with spirit. You're gonna have those lonely nights, those lonely times in which you're like, am I ever going to attract somebody for myself? Or am I, is the right person for me? Do they even exist at this point? And I think that you're going to be coming into a time of a lot of abundance in terms of your romantic life potentially. And I think Spirit's kind of giving you a heads up because this could be very overwhelming. Obviously, if you're already in a happy, committed relationship, you can just ignore all this. But for those of you that are open, it's here. It's here for you. Because like you're literally on a completely different level, completely different vibration, and everybody around you can feel that and see that and sense that. And Three of Cups, I honestly see this as maybe you're reconnecting with certain people. Could be in love, could be in friendships. Definitely enjoying time with others. So maybe this could be you going out and potentially dating. Going on dates with people. Maybe if that's not your thing, maybe you just want to spend more time with your friends. Go out and enjoy your time with friends and see the abundance that comes with that. With the Ace of Cups, I think that you're definitely going to be feeling a lot more loved. Maybe from the universe, from your friends, from your dating life, I think for sure. But it almost feels like it comes out of nowhere, and it could cause some internal conflict for you, especially because of like where you're coming from and where you're going. It just feels like it's like quite the difference, and so it could have some adjusting period that is necessary. With the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck, I feel like, divine timing is definitely at play. I think the divine has been seeing the work you've been doing, the work that you've been investing in yourself. The divine has been seeing that work you've been putting into yourself for quite some time, it feels like, And those difficult decisions that you've had to make for yourself, and it's not going by unnoticed, which I feel like I've been saying a lot for this part of the reading. So I'm almost getting like, maybe you've been feeling like nobody's noticing all this work I'm putting into myself, or I haven't been seeing any payoff for all of this work I've been investing into myself. And I think that you're actually going to be coming into a time of finally seeing the payoff, or finally like things working out for you, things like looking good for you. I feel like, you could be coming into a social time as well. So maybe if this isn't related to love, it could definitely be related to, what's that called? My brain has been like really not remembering words today. Well, I think that there's going to be a lot of social elevation, or like within the career even. It's going to be a lot of socializing, I think. So whether or not it has to do with love, it could just be overwhelming because you're going to suddenly have a lot of people that are interested in conversing with you, maybe interacting with people, collaborating with people in a career sort of environment or something like that. Creative projects, it could be creatively based for sure. And I also get with that Ace of Cups that there is that element of self-love. And so I think that, that self-love, I think, is helping attract this into your life. But also I feel like if it starts to get overwhelming, or if you feel like your attention may be starting to go on to other people rather than yourself, this could just be a reminder to tap back into that self-love and remind yourself of your value, your worth, the love in which you are worthy of. Especially if people are not showing up in the right energy, you know your worth now, you know what to do if people are not coming in correctly. I feel like you're also going to be very just captivating for a lot of people. I feel like you're going to be very much like vibrating at a frequency of love. And I think that a lot of people are going to be drawn in by that. But yeah, especially with all of the options, I feel like you're going to be a little bit overwhelmed, and you may not know exactly like who's who, what's what, like what is good for you, what's not. Like, are these people full of BS or are they not? You may have your like guard up a little bit when it comes to this, but well, honestly, I think, yeah, you may have your guard up, and maybe that's exactly what you're supposed to do, you know? Because like you didn't get to this point by letting just anybody in. So you know exactly what to do when these people come forward. You're going to go through a process. It's not going to be like, well, I take you at face value, now you're my partner. Like, I don't think it's going to go that way at all. You've definitely learned your lessons from the past, and therefore you're going to have those boundaries. You're going to have those standards, and you know exactly like how to hold people accountable. Which honestly, I don't know why, but that holding people accountable is like highlighted right now for me. And I'm almost getting like, maybe that's the quality within yourself that is, because this message right now that I'm reading into with this High Priestess, it feels like this is the potential that you have already tapped into. Yeah, because it feels like this, you know, the topic is what is the collective's untapped potential. And I think that this may have been at one point untapped potential, but now it has been tapped into, and it feels like this is like the after effect of tapping into that potential. A lot of abundance is coming your way, a lot of opportunities to help you feel more interconnected with others. So whether that be love, friendship, career, it's going to be very beautiful, but very overwhelming for you, I think, because it almost comes out of nowhere. But it's very beautiful, and I think it's only going to lead you to more growth, more betterment, more success. And yeah, it kind of is reading to me like you have realized this potential within yourself, and you have tapped into it and used it exactly as Spirit wants you to. Like, it's very beautiful. And I think, yeah, maybe it's because of your strong connection to Spirit. You heard the message loud and clear, and so you acted accordingly. And Spirit's like, hell yeah, brother, you're doing great. Yeah, yeah. I like that. Okay, let's go on to the Three of Cups. Double confirmation for Three of Cups, by the way. So that's cool. Please and thank you, Spirit. Something could be happening with friendships, very much. So, or just connecting with others, whether in love or not. Please and thank you. What's going on with that Three of Cups in terms of the collective's untapped potential? Please and thank you. Okay. Ooh. No freaking way, dude. Okay. Clarifying that Three of Cups. The Fool card came out in this direction. The Knight of Cups also came out in this direction. I mean, this is coming through as a new beginning in love with somebody that is very interested in you romantically. This could be one of the dates that you go on. This could be the one that maybe like you prefer out of all the options. Maybe this is somebody that like actually shows up as a really good option, especially compared to the others. And then the other two cards that came out, like, I kid you not, 10 of Pentacles upright and an Empress card upright. Like, okay. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, that's awesome. Oh, bottom of the deck is Two of Wands. Honestly, this could be that person that wants to have this new beginning in love, I mean. It feels like a love relationship, romantic. I mean, could be a creative project or something. I mean, it is possible that this could just be a creative opportunity, new beginning in a creative direction that brings about a lot of success for you. But the overall message is coming across pretty romantic. Like, I think that this is definitely somebody romantically interested in you, for a good chunk of ya out there. With the Three of Cups, because this is all clarifying the Three of Cups. Maybe they start out as a friend, or this is somebody from your friend group. Actually, I like with the Three of Cups, I sometimes get community. So maybe it could even be somebody within your community. Yeah, maybe your physical community, or if you belong to a community online, could be somebody through your community online that you're connecting with. Like, yeah, maybe it is somebody that maybe just sees you out and about and is like, I like that. Maybe somebody that interacts with you in a friendly way. Maybe you're very cordial with one another. Well, whoever it is, it feels like they're very enthusiastic about this. They want this beginning with you. They see so much like potential opportunity here. And with the Fool card, I actually really love the Fool card, especially in relation to romance, because it really tells me a pure intentions. Like, this is usually somebody, in my opinion, that wears their heart on their sleeve and is going to be honest and upfront about their feelings, upfront about how they feel for you. Like, and you're gonna be able to tell that this person has no ill will or ill intentions or hidden agenda. Like, this feels like somebody, honestly, this also feels like very much like a go-getter because of the way that the Fool card and the Knight of Cups came out in this direction. This is telling me that this person has their eyes on the prize and they're gonna just go for it. Maybe they've had their eye on you for quite some time and now they're finally ready to act. I'm getting like maybe the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck could be them making those plans. Like, how exactly do I want to approach this person? What do I want to say to them? How do I want to say it? Should I express myself in a certain way? Should I wait for a specific time of day? Should I message them online? Should I approach them in person? Like, there's going to be so many little details, I think, that they may still be working out. Maybe they have to build up their confidence to approach you. Because it does feel like this person would be putting themselves in a very vulnerable position to come towards you with this pure intention, with this clear desire for romance. And if they're communicating all of that, yeah, they're going to leave themselves vulnerable. So maybe they're also a little bit scared at the same time. Not to mention you're showing up as the Empress. Like, hello? You know what? That Knight of Cups, because, like, I think you might know, like, a little bit about this person. Maybe not a lot, but some. I think you at least recognize this person's face. And I know that sounds weird. I don't know why, but it's coming across that way for me. So I think that it could, I don't know why. I'm getting really strong feelings about, like, community. So maybe within your friendship group, your external community, online community even, like, it feels like, I think that you're familiar in some regard to this person, but I don't think that you know them super well, let's just say. It could be like a completely like sort of superficial relationship that you have with them, like professional or in passing. Like, it could just be like that for now. But, like, clearly they want something more, I'm just saying. And, like, who wouldn't, like, when you're showing up in this sort of energy? Like, Empress, like, you're just effortlessly beautiful in their eyes, abundant, like very abundant, actually, because of that Ten of Pentacles. So, like, I see, like, two things with that combination of the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress. Like, first off, I think that's who you embody, like, what you show to the world, or how this person perceives you, at least, is, like, it's just the ultimate abundance. Like, you feel like never-ending abundance is what I'm getting. Like, you just, like, you're a fountain, almost. You know how a fountain just like continues, like if if it's on or whatever, or plugged in or whatever. I don't know how fountains work. But anyways, like, it's like always like going constantly, and the water just like goes back in and then it comes out, and it's just a never ending fountain, right? And I almost feel like that's you when it comes to abundance or success, or that's how they perceive you. You're just like somebody that just has this like, yeah, maybe you're a generator in terms of that body ID or whatever that thing is that I was talking about earlier. Like, you could be a generator, because it's like you just produce this energy nonstop, it feels like. And I don't think that you really even have to try. And I'm almost getting that this could be a quality of yours that maybe you're not as aware of. The fact that you just have this almost effortless abundance, but and also it could be not effortless on your end of things. Like, you're like constantly putting in work, constantly doing things behind the scenes. But I feel like this is truly how they perceive you. Like, through their eyes, they're just seeing you as the ultimate partner. Like, why wouldn't I want to be with this person, kind of thing. And like the other storyline I'm getting is like, maybe they see you as this empress, and this 10 of Pentacles is the future that they see that the two of you could have together. Because that's like generational wealth. That's like a happy home, happy family sort of vibe. Yeah, like maybe the two of you could be a power couple together or something, is what they're picturing even. Like, build that home life, build that family. It doesn't have to be a traditional family. It can be any sort of family that you want, even if it's just the two of you. But like, very much like cozy home vibes. Like, and it's not really super surprising, because they have that Fool card with that pure intention. They feel like a person that wears their heart on their sleeve. I think we have a cuddler here. I think that this is somebody that really likes to spend time at home with their partner and like snuggle. It's actually quite cute. I like that energy. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's coming like across very strongly with the 10 of Pentacles. Like, I think that this is actually somebody quite emotionally sensitive even. It's really cute. I'm sure they're probably going to try and play it a lot cooler in person, or, however they start that conversation with you. I think that they're going to play it much cooler. Like, yeah, I don't have emotions. Of course, that would be not cool. But, I think it's going to become very clear that this person clearly has a lot of feelings for you, clearly, sees big things with you. Wow. Oh, this is all clarifying the 3 of Cups. I think that this is another area in which you have tapped into your potential. Because again, I'm getting the similar vibes of like, this is what's happening as a result of you tapping into your potential and, like feeding that potential. And I think that potential here has to do with your ability, your interactions with others. So that's kind of what's telling me. Well, again, I guess it could go back to either friendship or community. But I think that the reason why this is coming in is because you've kind of, especially with that energy I was getting at the beginning of this reading, about maybe there's like a little bit of a fear of being in the spotlight, or maybe a fear of communicating and stuff. But I feel like maybe you've tried to go outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And maybe that has led to a lot of growth, especially when it comes to you going outside of your comfort zone in communicating with others, or like, I'm even getting like, maybe you're somebody that would usually not strike up conversations with strangers at the grocery store or in passing or whatever. But I feel like maybe you've started to embrace that a little bit more. And even if it doesn't feel like a huge difference, or maybe it's just a little baby step, like maybe even just stopping to smile and wave at somebody that waves at you or something. I don't know. Like, it could be the smallest little interaction, or like maybe holding doors for people or something. Like, it could be the smallest little interaction, but it's almost like because you have started to branch outside of your comfort zone in communication or with interactions that deal with others, whether that be in friendships, love, or community, like it feels like it's very much like sort of coming back around to help you or to give you a really beautiful opportunity here. Like this is coming as a result of you, I think, going outside of your comfort zone and maybe branching out a little bit more when it comes to interacting with others. And as a result, you're going to be attracting something very beautiful here. And I'm also getting that you going outside of your comfort zone, you communicating more so with others, or interacting with others more, I think that also helps you embody this Empress mode. And if you think about like an Empress in terms of like historical significance, like, you know, the Empress is, you know, or the Queen or whoever in history was sort of the public face for that dynasty or whatever. Like if you think about Marie Antoinette, a lot of people were really angry at her husband and her husband's decisions and how that affected the country of France. But a lot of the anger, and you know, a lot of it had to do with sexism, but you know, was really targeted at Marie Antoinette. And so it's very important how the Empress or the Queen is viewed by her dominion. Is that what it's called? You know, the group of people that she has control or power or influence over. Like it's very important that they are liked pretty much by the population, because otherwise things can go badly very quickly. So anyways, what I'm trying to say with that is being in the Empress mode, socializing, communicating with the community, branching out, going outside of your comfort zone at moments, helps you become this beautiful Empress that everybody loves. Because it's like, how are people supposed to see your radiance if you keep it locked up inside of you all the time? You know what I mean? So simply by opening your mind, your heart, your energy, and interacting with people in your community, you know, opening up more to just people in general, it helps you embody this Empress mode, and people get to see the radiant beauty that you are containing within yourself. And it just makes you more attractive. And I think it even brings in more abundance for you, truly. Like it just helps feed into that power even more so. It's really beautiful. I really like that. I really do. I really am liking this energy a lot in this reading. Okay, let's go on to the Eight of Wands. Actually, before I clarify that Eight of Wands, please and thank you, Spirit. What do we got? What do we got for the Eight of Wands in regards to untapped potential of the collective? Please and thank. Okay, let's wait till just like a few more. Please and thank you. Thank you. Ooh, we got some good ones. Ooh, we got some interesting ones. Ooh, okay. This one's okay. Clarifying that Eight of Wands, we have Six of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. I don't know why I said it like that. The Wheel of Fortune came out. Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. It's an Eight of Wands sandwich up in here. Okay, yummy. Bottom of the deck is the Death card. So clearly, communication here is extremely highlighted. This is all clarifying the Eight of Wands, and it is ended by the Eight of Wands as well. So the way in which you communicate with others, your energy that you bring to communication is very significant and very much highlighted by Spirit. But yeah, let's dig into this message here. This is an interesting message. I'm getting that you are somebody that is very much a very giving person. You give to others. I'm almost even getting like, this could even be what you give through your communication. Maybe you used to be, and this is such a random message, maybe it won't apply to everyone, but you might have been somebody that like overshared at one point in your life. I don't know why, but that seems to be a message right now. Like maybe you shared too much. And this could be, you know, energetically or in love or whatever. And that didn't benefit you giving too much to those situations. But also maybe you had the opposite issue of like what I was picking up at the beginning of this reading is like, instead of leaving something to the imagination, maybe you were just somebody that would just blurt out whatever. And sometimes I do think that that can be a maybe not exactly a sign of insecurity, but I feel like people that are insecure tend to blabber. That sounds like a mean word to use, but you know, tend to talk a lot, and sometimes it's out of nervousness and they kind of just share everything because they can't think of something to talk about or something. And I'm not trying to like attack anybody personally, because that was me. I'm just gonna say, like, you know, I personally used to be like that, and it was coming out of a place of nervousness and like, you know, like, oh, I have to sort of entertain this person because I'm not enough, you know? And so when you're more reserved, it sort of leaves something to the imagination, for one. You're also holding back a little bit of energy. So it's like maybe this person would give out 4 pentacles but keep 2 if they wanted to have a more healthier balance or something, instead of just giving away all of their money, or, you know, whatever this currency is, energy, love, conversation, information. But yeah, it feels like there's, with the scales, it's important to keep a balance when it comes to you giving, because I think that you may have been somebody to overgive in the past, whether that be through communication, through simply your energy. It could have even been just your energy, like overgiving in your energy. Maybe you were almost like a caregiver for certain people that did not deserve it, like partners even. So I almost am getting like, you may have just been a person that was very happy to give and may have overgiven, especially to the wrong people. Yeah, you may have given to the wrong people definitely in the past, and maybe left yourself with little to nothing. And it's like time after time after time of getting betrayed by those people that you gave everything to. Maybe having that information that you shared with people turn back against you, because that's a whole nother thing too. If you overshare information, people can take that information and use it against you. Maybe it was like a you know, an insecurity that you shared with somebody, and then somebody uses that insecurity against you. Maybe that was something that you experienced in your past as well, but you had a lot of painful experiences as a result of giving probably way too much, whether that be in conversation, in terms of energy, in terms of love, compassion, like attention, like literally anything. And I feel like it was only ever used against you. And you, I think, hit your rock bottom. You hit this point where you were just like left with nothing. You were drained completely of all of your resources and, you know, everything that you had to give. It really does feel like you were left a shriveled up shell. And that's when you had to realize balance. I'm almost wondering if like this could have been a skill that you sort of grew into, is this ability to balance things and energy a little bit more, where you're not giving entirely everything to people that don't deserve it. I really do think that this darkness was almost necessary in order for you to see the light. I don't know why, but that's like the message that's coming through really strongly with that 10 of Swords. Like, I feel like at your rock bottom, you finally you finally saw things very much clearer. and you're like, I need to start new. I feel like you may have had a yeah, I think like you had like one something about like seeing things clearer after all of this pain, betrayal, devastation. And I feel like you decided to rebirth yourself, transform yourself, start again, restart completely. With that death card at the bottom of the deck, I think that's exactly what happened. Because this is truly the energy of rebirth and transformation. I really do think that you, in a lot of ways, have transformed to the point where you may not even be recognizable to certain people from your past. Also, you may even feel like your past part of yourself that was maybe a pushover, maybe, you know, somebody that was put into a lot of situations where you were in, you know, giving mode to a fault. Maybe you feel like that past version of you is dead, like dead and gone, like, you know, goodbye, good riddance. Maybe that's how you feel about that part of your life, you know, because it's like now you have so much more autonomy and power and strength within yourself, and I feel like it may have been very necessary for you to transform. And I almost am feeling like this transformation was what helped you tap into your untapped potential. Like, this is all like your story here. And honestly, yeah, after that Ten of Swords, we have the Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Pentacles. I feel like the divine, I think, might have even tried to sort of shake you awake. Maybe you realize, maybe these endings and that rock bottom brought you towards your spirituality, heightened your intuition, or helped you boost your intuition, your spiritual or psychic gifts, like even improving on those, because it feels like the divine plays a part in where you go from that Ten of Swords through that rebirth. And maybe you felt like the divine even helped you with that rebirthing process. I almost am getting like, yeah, I'm getting the image of a cocoon with a little caterpillar inside, and then they finally break through the cocoon and they're a butterfly now. It feels very much like that sort of transformation. I almost feel like maybe you had a time of even self-isolation for a long time, or maybe it was just you and spirit, you know, communicating back and forth, or, you know, working through your stuff with spirit there beside you, maybe guiding you along your path, helping you see things much clearer, teaching you things. Maybe through your spirituality you learned a lot about yourself, about your value, your worth. And honestly, I feel like through that whole like little cocoon process, you realize that you don't have to give everything away with that Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you're way more in a space now where you pace yourself, especially if it comes to giving your energy to others. I feel like you're in a much better energy with the Knight of Pentacles. It's like a necessary energy for you to take a step back, truly evaluate that situation, whether or not you even want to give to that situation in the first place, but spending a lot of time considering, seeing everything from all the different angles before acting, you know, considering all of the variables, all of those small minor details that may seem not so significant at first, but then it's like, you know, they're quite important. Maybe noticing red flags with others, and cutting it off at that point when you see those red flags, rather than waiting to see how it, you know, turns out. I feel like you're in a better place in terms of like you're so much more considerate when it comes to sharing your energy. And it goes kind of back to that boundary setting that we saw with that high priestess earlier that we were clarifying with that Four of Cups. Like you grew boundaries. You were able to grow these standards for yourself. And you know now how to apply those standards and boundaries, you know, to situations. Like, do I want to invest into these things? Are these things even worthy of my investment in the first place? Like, that's even a question that maybe you never really even considered before. Like, is it actually worth my time, my patience, my energy, my love, my, you know, my communication, you know, my information that I have and that I contain? You know, it's like you value yourself finally. So it's like, yeah, I need to only, or as much as possible, try to share that information only with people that care to hear it or will respect that information or actually listen to that information, you know, not just share it with everybody who has a pulse, because not everybody's going to be able to understand that information sometimes or know how to interpret that information. And so it's almost like pointless to a degree. You know, certain people are just not capable of understanding certain things. And so it's like, why would you spend all of your time, energy, and attention trying to convince somebody to see your point of view rather than just valuing yourself and being like, this is not worth my time. I'm going to take a step away from this thing and I'm going to go find somebody else who actually wants to hear what I have to say and stuff like that, you know? That's just an example, but it feels very much like that sort of energy. Like you're just like, yeah, it's like you go from this place of like, if that was you in the past of like oversharing information, now it's like you take time to consider what you're going to communicate to other people. It's almost like maybe you're pre-calculating what you're saying beforehand, and maybe you're sort of assessing that person. Like, does this person appear trustworthy? Or do I know this person well enough to know that they're trustworthy? Because somebody can look trustworthy. I think it's personal experience that tells us whether or not somebody is trustworthy or not. Yeah, because people can tell you they're trustworthy until they're blue in the face. And, you know, it's really going to be their actions that prove that, not what they say. So yeah, I feel like it's just like you, yeah, so if you were that kind of person to overshare in the past, like you are very much not that kind of person anymore. You take your time to consider fully what you want to tell people, what you want to share with the world, what you would like to share with others. Maybe even finding your audience is very important. If you are doing anything in the public eye, that could be very important for you. Finding your specific demographic, the people that really resonate with your message, the people that are actually going to value that information, that wisdom that you have to share with the world. And honestly, I sometimes get this 8 of Wands as a much more organized, like much more organized, neat and orderly sort of mindset at times. I kind of pick up on with this 8 of Wands because of like how straight all of the wands are. It's like maybe in your mind, maybe you even found that your mind has almost become more organized over time. The more that you have fed into yourself and worked on yourself, maybe your thoughts are much clearer now, where they used to be much more foggy in the past. Maybe your intentions are much clearer now. Your view of yourself is much clearer now than it used to be. Your understanding of yourself used to be, or could be much more improved compared to the past. And it feels like this is exactly where you're supposed to be, and it's going to lead to so much more growth, abundance, like beautiful things. And you also know where to direct your passion. So yes, It's like intentional. That's what it is. You have become so much more intentional with your energy. And I almost am getting like, yeah. So this could be another area in which you at one point did not tap into this potential. Or maybe you didn't value your potential. That could have been a whole other part of it. Because like, yeah, like if you think that the information that you have in your mind is useless, then obviously you're going to share it with everyone because it's like, it doesn't hold any value. And like, I don't know, that might not be a good example, but like, or the love and attention you give to your partners. If you don't value that, then you're going to give it away to everyone. And then it's like, even the people that don't deserve your love and your attention and stuff. And so it's like, yeah, it just feels so much more intentional now. And part of that comes from valuing that. Because, yeah, it's almost like your own currency, the currency that lies within you. You know, all of those beautiful potentials that lie within you are, in a way, currency. And so it's like, are you going to give all of that currency away and leave yourself bankrupt? Or are you going to be very selective with how you disperse that currency that is within you? Because your energy is valuable. And I feel like maybe that's what you realize through this process, is how valuable you are. And this is all like internal value, not even considering like external value, you know? Yeah, like the love, attention that you give to others, the kindness that you show to others, information that you share. Like, you realize the worth and the value of it now. And so you're much more intentional, much more selective with how you use it and how you disperse it to others. And I think it's only going to bring about more success for you. More abundance, more growth, more opportunities. And I feel like it also has helped you feel like maybe a sense of more positivity or more optimism or more happiness in your life. Especially now that you value yourself. You value those things within yourself now. I think it makes you feel better. I think it definitely makes you feel better. And it's, you know, not really that much of a surprise. You know, when we finally value ourselves, we value the things that we have. You know, our skills, our talents, our abilities. And yeah, so that's going to definitely give us a sense of worth and value in this world. It's beautiful. I really like that a lot. Okay, let's go on to that Nine of Pentacles now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do you have for that Nine of Pentacles in regards to untapped potential for the collective? Please and thank you. Anything else for that? Ooh. Anything else for that Nine of Pentacles? Please and thank you. Okay, let's see. Ooh, interesting. This one is interesting. Okay. Clarifying that Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles came out in the reverse. Two of Pentacles. Two of Wands. Four of Wands. Seven of Swords. Five of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Pentacles. There's a lot of Pentacles energy clarifying this Nine of Pentacles. So this one, I think, could very well be related to work or career or projects, the things that you invest into, and maybe material comfort, or maybe grants you some sense of material comfort. Also, just to note, we do have The Nine of Pentacles was clarified by the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. And, sometimes I get, if there is a number followed by a, especially in the same suit, if it's followed by a lower number, sometimes I see that as like backward progression, or maybe that's how somebody feels. Backward progression in an area of their life. Also, the Five of Pentacles followed by the Four of Pentacles, another sort of energy of potentially feeling like somebody's, either taking a step back or not progressing in the way that they want. The Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, I don't know why, but this is giving me a feeling of like being afraid of one's own work. Like a fear of the work that you do. Because the Nine of Pentacles, that this is all clarifying, is all about like the payoff of one's work. That abundance, independence, feeling good about where you are. The Eight of Pentacles in the reverse feels like a sense of fear for some reason. A fear of your own work. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, which is like probably like a need for balance or a call to balance something here. Maybe balancing that fear, counteracting that fear rather. Maybe if you are overthinking something or fearing, like overthinking to the point of triggering your fears and stuff, maybe there's a need to kind of like counteract those negative thoughts with more positive ones. Maybe positive affirmations could be helpful if that's something that you have noticed. Those subconscious fears that you have of success potentially. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. This is an interesting plot line that I just picked up on. I'm picking up on somebody, and this may just be one person that I'm connecting to. Could be more for sure, but somebody I think grew up potentially in poverty or a sense of lack within their childhood. And maybe your community, your family or something. And I almost feel like there could be a sense of guilt attached to success. That may not even be true to you, but rather like sort of like a generational thing from your family or mindsets from your family. Maybe you grew up with parents that would say, money is the root of all evil. I hate money. Money is the worst. I wish that money didn't exist. Like all of those things that seep into our subconscious and aid us in making decisions, whether for good or for bad. I'm getting like almost, it could be a sense of guilt about like you reaching success with the things that you do. And you feel bad about that. Like it's almost like that you could achieve that Nine of Pentacles within your work, whatever it is that you do. Or maybe it's a passion project or, whatever. Your passion or whatever you're good at. It's like you can be successful at it, but you feel bad or guilty or it feels almost like imposter syndrome, but it feels deeper than that. I feel like this could definitely be traced back to childhood for you. And maybe you're aware of this. Maybe you're aware of this taking place, but it definitely feels like maybe those thoughts that have, or even those opinions from parents or family or community about, certain opinions about money and, what it means to have money and all that. It could be that you're supposed to sort of counteract and maybe improve upon that. When those thoughts or mindsets come up, maybe evaluate where these thoughts and mindsets come from. Where do they stem from? What were you told in your childhood that contributed to these mindsets? And how could you help to counteract those mindsets or those thoughts or those opinions from people that, you know, were like outside of you, like your family, community? Yeah, actually, with that Two of Wands following that Two of Pentacles, 22 could be significant. The two twos, maybe 222. But the Two of Wands gives me very much a sense of contemplation. Usually I see it as plan making, but in this situation, it could be just like that self-reflection. Maybe you realize this within yourself. I feel like honestly that this fear of success could actually be a blockage to your success. And honestly, you know, I feel like this is way more common than maybe people realize or people want to admit. So like, it's definitely nothing to be ashamed about. And you have that consciousness of like, this is a problem, I need to address it, which is a whole nother part of like, that's awesome that you have that ability in the first place. Some people go their whole lives in this sort of mindset without ever analyzing it, looking, self-reflecting, you know? But I feel like you are taking a moment to be like, wait, why am I afraid of success? Why am I afraid of being successful with what I do? Especially now that you're in this place of valuing yourself. It's like, okay, I know the value of my work, so why am I afraid to be successful? I know that I have value and that my work has value. So why am I afraid of the success that may come with me embracing that part of myself, you know? Yeah, I feel like you're definitely in that like self-reflection mode, or at least you were at one point. This could be past tense, or this could be present tense, because I feel like this is you realizing, okay, like maybe you realize that there's a blockage that's blocking your success somewhere, and it took you taking like a step back or taking a time out to really analyze that, to be like, why is this taking place? What is causing this? How can I improve on that? And it feels like that's all very necessary and very positive work that you're doing. The Four of Wands follows that Two of Wands. And I think that this is a really good thing because, you know, although the Four of Wands can be, you know, related to love and coming in union and all of that, it can also be you accomplishing some sort of personal milestone, something that's worth celebrating. So it could be that once you work through that stuff, you could be finally harvesting, you know, after all of your hard work. Undoing those negative mindsets about money potentially, or the moral value of money, you know, those types of things, could be what's bringing in your success through that self-reflection and self-work. Yeah. And yeah. So like as a result of doing that work, you could be coming into a time of reaching your abundance. Like maybe finally that blockage is cleared out of the way and you're achieving that thing. Or this could also be like, honestly, like you analyzing any part of your success journey. Like this could even simply be you in reflection, noting all the times in which you have, or like looking upon your past and being like, I overcame this, I overcame that, I overcame this other thing. Like you're like noticing, like, I have come a long way. So why am I still holding on to these beliefs that may not even be authentic to who I am or what I truly think and feel. Because it feels like, yeah, you're taking a moment to recognize here those personal milestones that you have surpassed, those things that you have achieved, maybe over the years or over the time in which you've been investing in this area of your life. You see all the growth that you've achieved. And it feels like, yeah, this is like, it's all gonna lead you to your success. I think the more that you embrace those milestones as well, like celebrate each step of the way, even if it doesn't feel like that big of a deal, that could be a message here too. Like, even if it is just like, like, I'm trying to think of like a little goal or something. Like the smallest of goals, like, can be celebrated. No matter how small you think it is or how small other people think it is, it's still something because it's something that you were able to achieve. And I think it's even more applaudable when you have a history or a past of those problematic mindsets of thinking about money in a certain way, thinking about success in a certain way. Like, the fact that you're able to achieve anything is beautiful, and you should celebrate every little achievement that you have. And then it's interesting that after that Four of Wands is when we have the Seven of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles. And this is almost communicating to me a couple or a few things. For one of them, I think, could be people from your past, especially after you, because I think this success, this Nine of Pentacles, is your destiny. I almost feel like you will achieve success. And so it's really about how you prepare your mind for that. Because I think that that's going to be very necessary, especially if you grew up in an environment where money was demonized, or success was, or, there was a moral value placed on money or abundance or whatever. And so, yeah, once you achieve this success, which I think you will, this could be those people coming into your life after you've achieved that success, and they may be trying to knock you down a peg, so to speak. And these could be the ones that tried to plant those ideas, mindsets about money being bad, evil, trying to keep you from achieving success. Because unfortunately, and I hate that this is something that people do, but unfortunately, and it's usually common with people that are insecure about where they are in life, but if they struggle, they want everybody else to struggle too. And even the people that we think should be happy for us, our friends, our family, they're not always happy for us when we achieve success, because they want that more than they want to praise you for it. They want that for themselves, and they're angry at you because you're the one that did it. So what I'm getting is, once you achieve this success, you could definitely have people from your past. They could be masking themselves, pretending to be your friend, pretending to be genuine, like they're a family member. Say that they're very proud of you, or maybe even brag about, like, I'm almost even getting like somebody specifically of like somebody that wants to take advantage of the benefits of knowing somebody that's successful, but they secretly hate you for it and are jealous of you. And that could be somebody in your family even. Unfortunately, that can happen. And so it's like, I'm getting somebody that's like deceptive, deceitful even. So it's like once you reach that success, there is potentially somebody coming in to maybe try to sabotage you, trying to trip you up now that you're at this place of success, and they are jealous of that and they want it for themselves. So maybe they want to trip you up so that you fall from that height and they can just take your place, I guess, or whatever. However they think this thing works in their mind. But yeah, you could have somebody like trying to be sneaky in your life. Somebody that is not genuine about their happiness for you. And so they may try to sabotage you in some way. Maybe they try to bring up those ideas about money and like, you know, like the more money somebody has, the more evil that they are or something. Or maybe they'll even guilt trip you. Like, oh, how dare you not give me $1 million? Like, or like all of the money that you made through your success. Like, how dare you not give it to me? Maybe you even have parents. Like, I would hate this, but. Okay. Oh yeah, so I was even getting like maybe a little bit of a manipulation or like, you know, somebody trying to play the victim here. And this could even be a family member or parent, unfortunately, of like, I'm getting specifically like, oh, I gave birth to you. Like, why not give me all your money kind of thing. And I'm sorry to anybody that may be dealing with something like that. That feels really bad. But yeah, unfortunately, you may realize, you know, after achieving this success, geez Louise, I'm not surrounded by a lot of people that I thought would support me, be proud of me, be happy for me even. And instead you have people trying to manipulate you, gaslight you, like, oh, you should feel bad for me, like that Five of Pentacles. You may have people playing the pauper and being like, you should feel really bad for me because I'm poor and you're rich. And it's really unfortunate, you know, especially with as much pain and suffering that there is in the world. You know, it's hard enough, let alone having friends and family adding on top of that to kind of guilt trip you. Yes, that's what it is, guilt trip. I feel like somebody could definitely, and it could be even multiple people, it feels like it could definitely be a group of people, like not just one person, but multiple people, unfortunately, that try to come at you for your abundance, your success, the rewards of your labor. And it feels like but yeah, it feels like somebody could be definitely trying to be deceptive here, deceiving, you know, playing up certain parts of their life so that you feel bad for them, and that so that you, honestly, this could be people that are trying to even trigger those past people-pleasing tendencies of yours or pushover tendencies of yours from the past. It's almost like they want to trigger that past version of you because you probably were that really kind person in the past. Maybe you were somebody that was like, oh, I have money now, let me give it away to all my loved ones and hold nothing for myself. And it's like, you know, that only creates more lack and more poverty and more lack. Speaking of lack, Four of Pentacles. All three of these cards together really just tell me about this group of people that are going to be very moochy, playing on your emotions, making you feel bad for them, making you feel like you're in a place of like, it almost feels like they want to guilt trip you because it's like they want you to feel a sense of like owing them something. or they want to trick you into that mindset. And it's based around the fact that these are people that have lack mindsets. And so it's like, it's very possible that this could be the family that tried to teach you those lack mindsets that have kept them blocked in life. And now that you somehow broke free of that, maybe it's even a generational curse sort of thing. Like maybe generations upon generations of your family have lived in poverty, and now that you're breaking outside of that poverty, you will notice those family members almost hating you for that, or making you feel bad for that, making you, yeah, it feels like they definitely want you to, yeah, and with that Four of Pentacles, it almost feels like these are people that feel a sense of you owe it to them, or it belongs to me, like a sense of entitlement. That's what it is. These are people that feel very much entitled to your abundance, to your wealth, to the payoff of your labor, like the benefits of your labor and the abundance that your labor brings. Like they want that to be for them and not for you. And if that is the case here, I'm very sorry about that. And then the other part of this could be, maybe these aren't physical people. You know, maybe these are not people literally coming back into your life to be like, give me money. But maybe it's the memory of those people that have had that influence over you. Maybe when you achieve this success, you start to, maybe these thoughts and feelings start to kind of creep up to the surface without anybody externally feeding into them. Maybe it's more so you just naturally feel a sense of guilt because you know that your family would gaslight you or guilt trip you, make you feel bad for being successful. So you sort of play that part within yourself almost. And so maybe that could be a whole nother obstacle that you have to overcome within yourself. But, I mean, either way you look at it, I think you definitely are going to be achieving this success. It's just the people that are around you and maybe potentially your brain, your thoughts, your mind, that are also unfortunately sort of working against that happiness that you should be feeling with that success. Like the feelings of pride that you should be feeling when you achieve that. Definitely feels like there could be some sort of, and it doesn't feel like a huge obstacle, to be honest, because it's like regardless you're going to be successful. I would say more so like a speed bump. Like it's there, you feel it, but it's not like a huge obstacle that you have to overcome. I think that you are in a much better place mentally in terms of valuing yourself within your spirituality. And so I think that you will be able to overcome that. It just may be difficult, especially if it does have to deal with like maybe cutting people out of your life that you thought were going to be more supportive of you, or maybe distancing yourself from people that are moochy, you know, or feeding into those mindsets. And so those might be difficult, but I think that could be what is exactly necessary in order for you to continue receiving that abundance, success, and abundance. Yeah. With the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, I think that this could be a couple of different things. So, one, I think that it's telling you to be patient with yourself and the process of you going down this path towards your success. If your success hasn't reached you yet, that doesn't mean that it will not. You just may have, it may not be the right time yet. Maybe there's still a little bit more you have to go dive into in regards to your past and mindsets, and maybe practice some of those positive affirmations to help sort of rewire your brain to think more positively about wealth even. Like it does feel like something here will take time, but it's going to be worth the payoff. like patience is definitely necessary, but it will be worth it because you are laying that foundation for your success. You have done a lot of work, so you are deserving of the success that is coming to you. So that's one message with that Seven of Pentacles. The other message I'm getting, if you are dealing with like family members, friends that are, you know, manipulating you, guilt tripping you, mooching off of you, there could be a need for you to sort of reflect on those people in your life. Do you want to keep them around you? Are they conducive to the goals that you want to achieve? Does keeping those people in your life hinder your growth towards success? Or do these people help you or make it easier for you to go down your path towards success? You could be sort of investigating that in a way, you know, deciding, who do I want to cut out? Do I want to cut out anyone? How do I distance myself from family members, for example, you know? I think that could be a part of that for sure. And I do think that there could be a little bit of disappointment, of course, you know. There's going to be certain friends and family that's going to hurt to have to cut them out of your life. But I think that you may realize it's necessary for your own growth, for your own success, for your own happiness in life, truly. Fulfillment, you know. What is the purpose of abundance if you can't enjoy it, you know? So, like, yeah, if these people are making you feel bad for the ways in which you've done really great things for yourself, they are not for you. And they're gonna probably just, you know, rain on your parade. And who wants that, right? And then there's also the element of being patient with yourself. If you realize that you are being triggered, or you're feeling like those messages from your past are coming back and are feeding into your lack mindset, maybe you'll just have to notice that, but maybe not judge yourself for immediately jumping into that lack mindset, especially if that's where you started, you know? If you think about it, like your family or your childhood was like the soil in which you were grown into. So it only makes sense that, yeah, you're going to have to adjust to a different type of soil if that's what's going to bring the most growth for yourself, you know? So, like, definitely be patient and kind with yourself, because it's not going to be easy to overcome this, you know, generational curse, if that's applicable, or the difficulties of these lack mindsets that started out when you were very young, people around you, you know, with their opinions about money, etc. It only makes sense that those would come up, you know, for you and cause blockages, cause obstacles and stuff. So yeah, just be patient and kind with yourself, and try not to judge yourself too harshly when it comes to that stuff bubbling back up to the surface. And you just, like, you hold the true power here. And I think that maybe trusting yourself, trusting that you have the power and that you will achieve success regardless of the outside obstacles. Because you have everything it takes for this to become everything you want it to be and more. I think it also just kind of, there's a part of it of, like, believing that it's possible for you. Yeah, believing that it's possible for you in the first place. And yeah, you got this. You totally got this. And I think that this one, for the Nine of Pentacles here, this untapped potential, I think originally you may have tried to, so I think that this potential is just your power, you know, whatever it is, your skills, your talents, your power within. You knew that this was something that was You knew that those talents, abilities, or whatever it was, had the ability to bring you a lot of success and abundance. And it was really just the potential of it. And you may have been afraid of that and avoided it for a period of time. But now I think that you have done that reflection. And I think you've overcome that fear. And so therefore, it's no longer an untapped potential. It's a potential that was once untapped, but now you have tapped into it. And it's going to bring you your success. You just may have some external or maybe mentally internal sort of energy that tries to pull you out of your feelings of happiness or optimism or enthusiasm for your success. But regardless, you're going to be successful and you have everything it takes to achieve this. And you have everything it takes to, like, because you're so incredibly powerful, you have the power as well to control who is around you and who is not. Who is going to join you on this journey and who is not. Who's going to be proud of you at the end of the day and who is not. You know, you're definitely going to be making those decisions for yourself. For sure. This was actually a very beautiful reading. I really liked this one a lot. So I hope that you liked this and that it resonated for you. If it resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective. Because my name's Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me. And we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to be notified by YouTube when I upload next, be sure to click that bell icon down below. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!